Hello. Just quickly doing social post that we are live. How do I do that? Um, mm, mm, mm. Where's this freaking chat box? Okay, let me test. Is the sound actually all right? Okay, I hear myself. Hey Nikita, how's it going? How are you, Nikita, today? How's it going? How's homework going? All right. Let me scale up the stream here. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. I feel like I haven't streamed for years. It's very funny. But like building everything up here and setting everything up, it takes longer than the actual stream going to happen, probably. And then you get notified that you can like stream on Twitch and shit, and yeah, I don't know. Streaming to finish homework for tomorrow. Nice. That's good. Good to hear. Ah, yeah, we see us tomorrow, right? In the call. I'm good. Kind of like warming up. I haven't drawn yet. Only did like planning and business stuff today. I have a few mentees tonight. I think 2 or 3 at 6 p.m. So I have a few hours to draw, which is cool because besides that, I'm working on the online class the whole time. And yeah, just busy, 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 busy. And I actually also need to do a new YouTube video, but I haven't found time, and I also, yeah, was not too sure what to do. So then basically enthusiasm kicked in, and I thought, well, let's just do a after lunch stream, so to speak. But I haven't warmed up or did anything today. So usually I do my 1 hour of drawing in the morning and kind of like just fill a page with stuff, right? But not today. What homework are you doing at the moment? Hey Taylor, how's it going? Appreciate it, appreciate it. Yeah, and I appreciate you supporting me. Hey Benito, welcome to stream. How's it going? Hey Sam, thoughts on AI? Um, I think to keep it short, because I receive this question pretty often. There's actually a pretty cool YouTube video by Feng Zhu. I just watched it yesterday, and I share a lot of his thoughts. He kind of like said what AI can do and can't do, and I pretty much share the same beliefs that there are certain things that AI cannot do, like art direct and do functional design and stuff. Um, but also the tool hasn't really like we haven't had like proper tools at that time. So I mean, like using stuff like ChatGPT is pretty useful in specific circumstances, but making art or using tools to make art, so AI art, so to speak, um, is more for people who are really not wanted to go down the route of learning all the fundamentals and stuff. So it's actually not really a tool for artists, even though you can use it kind of like for brainstorming and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I feel a bit torn, but also I don't worry at all. I don't worry for my students. I don't worry for myself, because as long as you as long as you have a goal in mind, what you want to do with your art, and also what you try to achieve, I think there are a few things that, yeah, there are a few things that you really can go around and can go around. Like art fundamentals, it's so crucial. Like Feng was talking in his video a lot about design, and that makes all sense because AI can't design. AI is completely relied on images or things that you feed it with, right? And if it nothing has to feed, you can also not really prompt it. You cannot really prompt also what AI should look at. It cannot really design, so everything's kind of like random. And I think there are also a few things we can learn from AI. So how to spread texture and detail and how to harmonize certain detail. Because it's crazy when you look at some of the AI art and you see like how detailed they are at the same time, but also there is some sort of structure in it. So as you know, like if you detail everything, nothing is detailed anymore. So it's kind of like that, it's this like um, it's really that what you can learn is like how to control detail. Ba, ba, ba. Sketches for the portfolio idea. Nice, nice. I'm looking forward to the results, Nikita. Is storyboard a good career option? I never worked as a storyboard artist. I met a few, and I know as a storyboard artist you have to work very fast pace, so very, very fast. And I'm also not so familiar with job opportunities as storyboard artist, I need to say. But it shouldn't be the question. The question is it really what you want to do? You shouldn't look too much what other people are doing. You should sit in front of the drawing board and figure out what is it that you want to draw, and then trusting that impulse. Because then you will just do something that you are might, and there's the possibility, don't like actually. And sometimes you need to try things out. Sometimes you don't know. For this, you have to try it out. And sometimes you have to try it more and more until you see that you really like it or you don't like it. That's really the thing about it. So what are you all up to? What are you all doing? I feel like I haven't talked really with the community for a while. Also haven't really streamed for a while. Like, yeah. Hey Merlin, welcome to stream. How are you doing? How's it going? Also, I haven't put any music on because I always have trouble with the licensing stuff still. So just put your own music on. I think that's the best solution for everyone. Is that a uni ballpoint? I don't know. Yes, it's a uni pin, but I don't know if it's a ballpoint because I think it's just an pigment ink pen, water and fade proof. It's I really like this pen. The ink flow is very continuous, and the control I have with it is much better. It's much better than with brush pen. I'm so shaky still with brush pen, especially when I do little detail and stuff. It's kind of like killing me. Game art versus animation. Um, Game art versus animation, you mean in order to have a career? I think both are interesting options, if you ask me. It really depends on what you're interested in. So, do you want to work in animation production? I have worked in animation production. I've also worked in games production. Um, it really depends on what is the project and what is it that you want to contribute, and what specific you want to do. Brush pen drawing looks, in my opinion, just so good. Yeah, if you can do it, not if you can't, because I failed with brush pen at least for a year, and I still feel super shaky when I do that stuff. Um, yeah, back to the question of Sam, game art versus animation. So it really depends on what you want to do. If you want to make art in animation, then that's a bit specific because then you have to, let's say, do backgrounds, for example. And then it depends on the production, if it's post-production or pre-production, if you do certain like backgrounds, if you do marketing art, that really depends where you go with that. And in terms of game art, if it's a game production is which is a live game, so the game already got shipped, and then you work on it, then the deadlines might be not too tight, and that also depends on how can you handle the deadlines. That's also really important. Hey Axelfield, how's it going? How long have you been in the industry? I joined the industry in 2000. So my first job I got while I still was studying in 2017. So I guess you can kind of like say 2017, kind of like 2018, because I finished my industrial diploma or my bachelor, sorry, not diploma, my bachelor in 2018. And then I basically got into the industry and started with movie production mostly. So I don't know, 6, 7 years, 7 years. Yeah, that's true. So yeah. I don't think art school is necessary option. No, it's technically not. Um, Definitely not these days. Like we got even more online education out there, and also like thinking about an art school, which is like let you pay a huge debt also. Then you start your career with being in debt, which is pretty shitty, if you ask me. Um, and even if you get a job where you get paid like 46,000 a year or something, which is also not that much anymore, if you think about inflation, still you will struggle on pay your debt a few years after that, which is yeah, it's just a bad start if you ask me. Nothing good to start your career with. But also, I want to say there's also a lot of crap out there these days because obviously a lot of people want to make money with this, which I understand because it's a great opportunity for artists, but not everyone should teach, if you ask me, because it's a big responsibility taking care of people. Just had someone joining the program who had horrible experience with a teacher. So yeah, but we can prevent that, right? Nothing we can do about this. Mm-mm-mm. Since you streamed CS:GO once, never ask you, are you a big gamer? So gaming is actually my kryptonite. I grew up with gaming, as probably most of you. Um, Also one of the reasons why I wanted to work in games. But yeah, I kind of like I cannot tame myself because I'm too competitive. So I don't know if I start a game, I like kind of like make everything go around that game. You know, it's I'm just too competitive. So if I want to get stuff done, I have to completely put games aside to just yeah to just get things done in my life because then I don't have time for this, and this is actually important to me. But the weird thing is, whenever I play games, it kind of like everything shifts. But for this, you have people in your life will which take care of you and be 100% honest and tell you stop playing so many games. Yeah, I played. Usually, I play Counter Strike with my friends, so I kind of like use it to socialize. I played a lot of World of Warcraft Season of Discovery over the last few months, but I also had to stop it when Phase 3 came, and I kind of like saw myself grinding with my best buddy again. I felt like, damn, I enjoyed the time with my buddy, really, but I cannot, I kind of like waste my time. And it feels like if you know in your back head there's so much things you want to do, and I don't draw and don't do the things I really want to do, um, then yeah, it's kind of like takes over. And I can control myself. I'm 100% honest there. When it comes to games, I can control myself. So I kind of like don't do it. But I played also a lot of StarCraft back in the day, so everything that's kind of like competitive is my thing, you know. I played a bit of League also, but I'm not so into it. Like every time something comes like this, where is the meta and where I have to get into that, then yeah, I kind of like just want to dive deep into and learn everything and analyze the game and kind of like want to make strategies. I want to get really good, you know, but I just always take it too far. And since like teaching became my full-time job now, I sit here all day, and then if I play games in my free time and I sit like 18 to 20 hours in front of my desk here, um, like it's also not good for my brain and my head because it kind of like fucks me up mentally. Excuse my language. So I rather go into the gym with my girlfriend or do anything more active, which is also inspiring again, you know. How's YouTube AdSense treating you? Can you sustain yourself with only YouTube? No, I can't. YouTube AdSense isn't. I mean, uh, how saying is treating me. Since I don't do mainstream content, I do art, mostly education. I think the CPR it's called, right? Click per or CPM is not so high. So I have a lot of people from the States and whatnot, which technically is good in terms of the area where they pay high market margin. But for art education, there is not a lot of AdSense paid. So let's say I do 4 videos in a month and they get recent views. I could not pay my rent with it, if that's your question. Also taxes, they also have to pay 50% of it goes for taxes. So it's even less than you think. Um, art school only what art school also don't see everything as art, like a lot of German university manga comic isn't seen as art. Yeah, okay, but I think also that that more and more people are more educated on things like manga and comic, and you've never had a chance to sustain yourself and the things you want to do, the art you want to do, and market it yourself over all these channels. So obviously there's a lot of negative talk, but there are so many possibilities, and a lot of people who ask me and send me emails and ask me about how can I do this, how can I do that, they kind of like know already how to do these things. But the problem is you have to just do the work. And it looks easy from the outside sometimes, but it's really tough to motivate yourself every day to do something, produce something, and market also the shit out of you. And I mean, the thing I do, like doing one-on-one art sessions, is something that evolved from while I was working in the studio. It just came through making YouTube for 2 or 3 years. So the teaching thing just came through YouTube, and it just took 2 years. Every year I made sure that I made at least 50 videos, and in every video you put a lot of time. When I just think about how much free art content I'd made over the last years, and if you would kind of like put it on a salary rate, I've not even have paid through that enough, if you ask me. So it's always the longevity you have to think, Uh, any tips on how to use a brush pen? I mean, I made a video with Baya. It's on the YouTube channel. I don't know if you have seen it, where Baya is kind of like spreading all the informative thing. I would say the most important thing about learning brush pen, it took me a year to get it to the point where I have it right now, but I still feel I don't have the control on some days because I'm very heavy-handed. So when it comes to small detail, it's always the good control over the little finger, like really controlling whatever it is. But as soon as if I press too hard, you see the line gets too thick. So then I try to change the angle of things and really slowing down and taking your time. And sometimes you can do cool stuff with it, or you have a happy accident. Sometimes I sneeze while drawing and I fuck up the whole drawing. That's also fun. But sometimes you also realize, well, I can also make kind of like shapes with the brush pen, just little indication strokes. And that's actually the cool thing, what I really like, because it feels a bit like painting. But for this, you have to really, the thing is, when it comes to brush pen, you have to have patience, a lot of patience. And then you have to try. There's no way there's no way around practicing in mileage. Just have to draw a lot. Draw a lot. Do it every day until you don't think about it anymore, and then do more of it. That's my wisdom I can spread there. And then you maybe see, hey, I can press a bit harder, and I can kind of like add a really cool contrast for the hair. I can kind of like create cool shapes with this stuff. And I can just quickly add a bit of contrast here, a bit of thickness here. And it's really fun because then you realize how much speed there is actually in brush pen. But again, there's a lot of room for fucking it up. So yeah, it's just, I would say that's the best advice I can give you on learning this. But if you can learn it, there's so much things you can do with it, which is just, yeah, it's just pure fun. and then you also it's whenever you do something, you have to focus on the perspective and the form and spacing, but also shape making. And I think since it's a brush and it's not a tip, you're a bit more aware of shape making, if you draw a shape, and it's about clarity. And my students know what I'm talking about because I always preach this stuff. If you make a shape which is very clear, has a lot of clarity, which means a outside person, an observer, can see that, okay, my clear decision was to make this with a straight line and a C-curve line, right? But let's say I draw a shape which is kind of like this. We know that this is a good shape and this is a shitty shape because here's a lot of inconsistency and insecurity, and maybe it's not very clear to the outside observer what this is. So yeah, that's also a big benefit of using brush pen. And like stuff like this where you can kind of like add like depth or contrast through using basically the black ink is just, it's so fun. It's so much fun. And then you can go really fast, really creative. But again, there is room for messing it up if you are too overexcited. Let's say it like this. But I'm also still experimenting with also size and format. The first time I draw on A0 size here is a pretty big paper if you see comparison to the pen. Oh, sorry, folks. The chat goes too fast. Art school, blah blah blah, habe ich. Do you have any tips on I got this? Amen. Starting gaming in my mother's womb. Her poor mother, Nikita. I hope your mother is doing well. Are you religious? No, I'm not. Damn, you live in Germany, you have to really high taxes. I mean, yes and no. I think if you compare it to the rest of Europe, it's kind of like the same, So, what do you get a lot in Germany for your taxes, but still knowing if you, for example, an entrepreneur, half of stuff you earn do not belong to you, which is, it's a mental thing you have to scope your head around. What German food can you recommend to a foreigner? German food. Bratwurst. Chicken sausages. We make good sausages. Hey, Sweet Cider, how's it going? How you doing? You want to work in game until you do, and then you do to this stop playing game a lot. Yeah, that's true. I once sneezed breaking the paper. How did you sneeze? Holy cow. Hey Janosch, nice stream. Please, which do you think? A brush pen or crow quill? What is crow quill? Crow quill? What is crow quill? Crow quill. Ah, I know. So calligraphy pen. What is easier to use? I would say crow quill is easier to use because the thing is the softness of the brush. You know, the range of going from very slim line and then pressing accidentally too hard. It's so easy to mess up this whole ink flow. But with a crow quill, you decide, you just tip in, and you always can kind of like control the ink flow better. But it's slower, right? So pros and cons. Gonna continue drawing. See you tomorrow. Plenty stuff to finish. Yes. I'm looking forward to your mentorship homework tomorrow. So give it all so we can go over it. See you tomorrow, bro. Bro, can you tell me how to focus? Help me. I can focus anything now. Really hard to get things done. Oh, I don't know if you asked the right question here for me, because, um, well, I have the same. I think a lot of people have a lot of trouble with focusing on things because then it also depends on if you're an overthinker. Do you think too much about the things you want to do before you even start? Or do you just kind of like get distracted by your environment? If that's the case, so let's say you are too much on social media or you look too much what other people do, then don't look at social media anymore. Kind of look at other things. Um, and then kind of like make a plan, kind of like plan what you want to do. That's I think is the first important step. Is really to plan ahead. If you realize you want to do too many things at the same time, then maybe second ask yourself, is it really what I want to do? Do I really want to do that, or is it just an outside impulse? Because fun fact, I just saw a session, a psychiatry session, where it was very interesting because the psychiatrist was analyzing and said most people, when you ask them what they want, they say they want to be happy. But what actually turns out, all they want is not being happy, they just don't want to suffer, which is very interesting observation, which means you have to always second guess when you say, I want to do this, is it really what you want to do? Or is it just an outside impulse which kind of like tells you to, hey, maybe I don't want to work in games. Maybe just the idea about working in games is cool. Maybe I just want to do something completely different. Maybe I just want to do fantasy art for myself. Maybe I want to do fantasy art, but maybe it's not working for any card games. Maybe I want to work in movies, or maybe I want to do something else. Um, that I think the important part is always to second guess. And if you kind of like can focus this down in terms of like what is it that you actually want, then it's also helping. And yeah, and focusing also, sometimes you have to break the cycle. So if you see like my routine is killing me and it brings me not where I wanted to go, you have to change something. You have to change your environment, your behavior, um, whatever is possible, that you can do. Thank you. I'll get a Crowquill. Yeah, I mean, also get a brush pen. Try both, and they're not too expensive. My figure drawing is improving, but still struggling with dynamic poses. I'm struggling with the lower part of body when drawing dynamic poses. Oh yeah, me too. That that shit ain't easy, especially when you have kind of like super foreshortening stuff. You know what's a good method? I actually wanted to make a episode about it. I don't know if that's going to help you, but I call it the chair method. So imagining you have a chair. And this chair is in a certain perspective. So let's say it's like this typical chair you have in school where you have to sit hours on, and you actually don't realize how much your ass is hurting, but you're young, so you can take it. But now try to place, I would say start with an object. That's also a super good exercise for beginners, by the way. Try to get to draw the chair right, first of all, in the right perspective, and then try to place a simple object on the chair first, right? So say this is the plane. Like imagine I would be in school. What do I place here? Let's say I have an apple with me. And then I try to place that apple on a chair. Let's say I have some paper. I put it below because maybe I don't want the apple to touch the chair where I sit. Then add a bottle, And really start simple, right? Start very simple. And you can evolve this to also placing people on the chair, you know? So then the next interesting idea is how can I place a person there? I don't know if you see that. If I just draw over this. Okay, let me see. Maybe he's reaching for something. I need to make it a bit quicker. So basically imagining someone sitting on that chair now. Oh, sorry. Just trying to make this person sit. So let's say there's a table here. Right, whatever the person's doing, reading or whatever. Person has a book. Or writing notes at the same time. But that's a really good exercise. And if you can do that, you can also kind of like make the chair upside down and whatnot. Okay, let me actually continue with this one here, because I think that's enough. Okay. Yeah, that's it's much easier to do if you start simple with stuff like doing it on a chair and then adding more of it. How long do you study one subject before moving on? For example, Loomis method, gesture drawing. Well, I'm a very impulsive person, so I kind of like try to ride the wave as long the wave is there. So so basically to say it uncryptive, as long the subject interests me, I work on it, and then I try to combine certain elements of my practice. But usually that can be either days, sometimes can be a bit longer, depends really on the subject. You know, I drew frogs for 6 weeks, then I drew crows for 2 days, then I drew horses for a day, and then I'm back to the figure. So there's always kind of like this up and down in what is it that I want to do. And now I kind of like try to challenge myself drawing these bigger ink formats. And here also I just keep this page on my desk, and then I draw as long as I want. There's a fly in my room. But yeah, when it comes to studying, it really like study is usually something which is more shorter and a bit more quicker. So it really depends on if I understand the subject or not. Hey Bonsai, how's it going? Meow back. Learning how to draw is really hard. Yes. Hey Boris, how are you? How are you? I kind of like missed you. Usually you're the first one on stream. What is going on in your life that you're not the first one on stream, Boris? Yeah, learning to draw is hard. It takes a lot of time and patience. It also depends on what's the subject. But the flip side to learning to draw is the better you get, the more exciting you get about the new things you can try. Oh, you're sick. Good sick or bad sick? Well, I guess when he says he's sick, I think he's probably bad sick. So get well, Boris. Get well soon. I've kind of like have to check my thumbnail. Drink a lot of tea, Boris. So just made a little thumbnail for the big format. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's like super rough, but I kind of like want to make this like vertically, diagonally going up. But I haven't really decided what's going to be all this here, so I just want to try it on the fly and go with the flow. Your philosophy on life? Going with the flow, yes, absolutely. Going with the flow. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Totally understand what you mean. It's really about the basics, Cider. If you got the basics in, you can kind of like do whatever, and you will also realize at some point that now you can also learn the other things much faster. But the really important things are really perspective, design, framing, composition, and stuff. Funny things that AI can't do. Sorry, just because we had the topic. No, I don't think so. I don't think it will be a problem for artists. You see, artists are not really interested in, like, artists didn't make AI. People who want to be artists but do not want to do the training for it wanted to be art, wanted to make art, so to speak, make that easier for them. And AI is not for artists; it's for people who can't do art. So I think it has limitations. If you just think about it, needs a source. Well, where is the AI taking its source from? If there's certain things which the people can control, like design, problem solving, um, storytelling, certain elements, So again, it's. I think it will never be a huge problem. Will it change the landscape a little bit? Of course, but it's always like how much power you give it over it. Also, again, there's so many issues with licensing and stuff. So many things that are not really working. Let me move this back a bit here. Kind of like need my elbow on the table for these lines. Hey, Fruit Punch. Thank you. And yeah, just out of imagination, I just have some references for the armor because the armor is very detailed and I don't got the full armor in my head. Just to make my life a bit easier. Otherwise, this will take forever. The challenge here is more the format because this is A4 size here, so it's the first time I draw on this big format here, and yeah, I wanted to make it as at least good enough that you could hang it somewhere. Where's my reference folder? Fucking hell. Costume. Here. What are you up to? What's my favorite book to study light and study form? Oh, I wouldn't point to a book, to be honest. So I learned the basics of painting and rendering in How to Render by Scott Robertson. That's one book I would point to. I bought Color and Light from James Gurney. I think it's a good book, but I never really could kind of like learn out of the book because to learn out of a book, it can be very dry, you know. So I think I rather would write myself a plan on what do I want to learn, how to learn it, and then kind of like try to change subject, you know. But I learned painting over trying to paint landscapes because in landscapes there's a lot of stuff happening, and yeah, and since there's a lot of stuff happening, you have to know a lot of stuff, and just by trying different things every day, you get better and better. Ski biddy toilet. Thank you. Sleep well, Cider. Sorry, Sam. Ski biddy toilet. What's that? I haven't. I have no clue what you're talking about. Yeah, start off beautiful. Thank you. Do you only draw with ink? Do you do any sketching with pencil or line art? No. No pencil for me since 2022. So technically almost 2 years now. No, I think in September. In September it's 2 years. No pencil. Because I want to get so good with this that I can completely pre-visualize everything and completely skip pencil. And yeah, I have a lot of shitty drawings, which I also share these days, which I'm kind of like surprised because usually I'm very insecure about this stuff. But I think since I just produce more and more and more, you kind of like get used to this. So yeah, no underdrawing. But it's also good because I can be very impulsive when I draw. So I can kind of like just draw slow and then draw fast for no reason. Yeah, so drawing with ink slows you down completely, which is good because then you are more careful. Oh, I think that's a good reference, yeah. Kind of like looking for something because I want to treat this a bit more compositive in a way where I can like use the negative shape of things, you know. So I'm kind of like want to figure out how to place something here, maybe a bit more diagonal. Have a nice day. Thanks for joining. Sorry I can't pronounce your stream name, but you too. Broby Van Kenobi. How long did it take you to draw from imagination? A year, I would say. Chicken noodle. But I still practice it every day, so I'm still not 100% there yet, because I now understand there's really limitations. Skibidi Toilet is a great TV show. Okay, I will watch it, Sam. I haven't seen it. Thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, drawing from imagination has its limitations, you know. So it always has to do with the things you know and you don't know, and you have to practice it every day. So, but I think it's 100% necessary for everyone to practice, for every artist, because everyone kind of like just copy other things and then try to get with this somewhere, which was also the case for me. But I think it shouldn't be the right way to do that. Yeah, it's actually inspired by Shogun. Really love the TV series. That kind of like the TV series dictates the topic of the drawing. Great show, very good show. Sorry, where is the chat? Hardest thing to draw from imagination for me is not to put your idea onto paper, but to find the meaning of it. You know what? That's a really well said conclusion, Fruit Punch. And it's the absolute most important one you have to figure out for yourself. This is why I would say draw every day, draw from your imagination. Don't post it, just do it for yourself. Try to figure out what is it that makes you draw, what do you draw every day. Um, just draw and let kind of like the happiness and joy and the enthusiasm flow through you. See what is the subject in your life that makes you you, and follow that belief, and then you will be a very unique artist because you will be you. You will not be a copy. And it takes time. Again, it took me a year to kind of like get kind of in the direction I want to do, but I'm still not there. And you know what? I don't care anymore. I just want to draw every day. That's the biggest conclusion I had. I want to draw every day. You know. Thank you for make all of this. I learned a lot. Appreciate you, Nizuko. I really appreciate it. And thank you for your support. Do you get attached to your drawing? No, because I some stop midway in the fear of messing it up, especially when drawing it with a pen. Yeah, that's normal. But it's normal that you fear about that because it's important. Just use it as a fuel and to finish it, But never let the fear of making a good piece of art stop you, that because then yeah, it's kind of like contrary. But it's also something you have to learn. Hey Juan, how are you doing, man? How are you doing? How is mentorship homework going and everything else? What makes you think that you are a good teacher in a way? I mean, this is a lot of work and responsibility. I can tie it up to the idea of selling hope to people. Why going to this path? Good point. So I think if you ask me if I'm a better teacher or a better artist, I think I'm a better teacher because I think I I believe, and let's not say it's true, let's say there is a possibility of it. I believe I understand what the needs of the people are who come into my program and want to improve, just by doing this for a few years because you kind of like get a sense for it. Am I offering perfect solutions to the people? Probably not because there isn't. Um, do I give everything whenever someone comes with the trust? Absolutely. So when someone says, I want to be a professional, his or her journey is the same important then as it for me. So I just want to make people get better. This is my only goal. And I think this is also why the things I do with the people I have are always good and they always turn out good because they're just important for me. It's not just anything. It's just important for me. So, but again, there's no guarantee. Sometimes also people do not work together well. That can also be happening. I can also give you a lot of homework, but you don't do the homework for whatever reason because I can't control that. You only can control it because there's maybe any other problem that you have to figure out for yourself, which I can't help with. So then I can't really function well as a teacher. So that also happened. So does your studies of imagination drawing change how you visualize things in your mind? Maybe you can imagine things more detailed or less abstract? Yes, absolutely, a lot. Absolutely. 100%. So just this practice is why I say it's so important to practice it. I don't say it's the thing that you will be the greatest if you if you learn how to draw from imagination. But I think we underestimate it in the process of doing it. Even if you're a designer, how can you design something that you can't really imagine? Then you kind of like just carving the design in search. I did that myself because I studied design. I know how it is to carve something out. That's why I believe it would be much easier if I would learn to imagine first. you know. So it absolutely changed my perspective, and it also made it easier for me to understand. Just the fact that I do these doodles from imagination in the morning. Maybe I can show some of it. It's my daily habit, and I don't have a quality stamp on it. Just stuff out of my head. You know, I don't think about whatever I draw. I just let the pen go, and that really helps me. First of all, to get loose. And if I feel, man, today is a shitty day, I don't want to draw. Okay, fuck this. I put it away, you know, and then I do it the next day. And one day I just have something in my mind, and I just wanna, let me see, this will work. I don't know. And I just have an idea for a scene, and I just try it. And then, is it? Then I can like push it, and if I don't want to draw it anymore, okay, I continue. And then I don't know. Sometimes I have impulses where I say, I don't know, how would I make this scene of a movie again in a different framing, you know, and then just quickly drawing it out. Or sometimes it's just a freaking post-it, you know. So it's just about figuring out what is it that drives you, that the things that you like doing, and things that motivate you, and then make sure that you create every day. Because what I realized for myself, for me, the art of creating, because video making is also being creative, or painting is being creative. Anything that I do, some sort is my creative outlet. So that's why it's really important for me to just be creative. But I also have days where I am just tired, where I just can't do it. And then I also have to listen to myself, like, okay, maybe tomorrow is a better day for it. So, but yeah, thanks for the question, by the way. It was a good question. Oh, sorry. There's so much to read. Again, thanks, Vlad, for the question. It was a good question. Doing good. Planning from some vehicles in perspective, and then going to playgrounds. Enjoy playgrounds. Hey, Fortuki. Yeah, feel free. If you want to join, I have slots open. Just go on my website and check out the mentorship slots. Also, I have, by the way, I have portfolio reviews open again. I just opened it up again today because I got requested. So this is also now career talks, and we have portfolio reviews on the website. Portfolio reviews is $100 for the session, and career talks is $150. But career talks is also a bit longer because we also do planning. My approach to line art is draw a random curve and transform it into, wrap into shape. Draw a random curve and transform it and wrap it into a shape. I don't know. If it works for you, then it's good. If you can achieve what you try to achieve with it, even better. Who really cares? I mean, you shouldn't care really about if other people are doing it. Just see if it works for you. And if you come to the result you want to get, right? Because that's really the important part. But if you don't get a result out of it, then you maybe have to question the process at some point. But if you find something what works for you, then amazing. Yeah, digital is also much easier than traditional. Digital is much easier because you can control everything. You can undo things, you know? It's much easier to do. You can fake also a lot of things. Now, how many people I reviewed, they have great paintings, and then we break down their process, and then you see most stuff they do is kind of like copying others or using certain approaches which they could never use in a production. Because what they do, they kind of like steal things. So it's also a very dangerous game to play. And it's tempting. I know that. Hey Asha, welcome to stream. How are you doing? And thank you for saying it. The amount of brute forcing I can do in digital is sort of embarrassing. I definitely need some spend with traditional to refine my skills. I love how you frame that brute forcing. Um, yeah, but I think that's really how that is. You know, you kind of like have so many possibilities these days, right? You can there's so many possibilities to make things look good, especially to an untrained eye. But the honest feedback you get in this industry is technically no job if and trained eye sees that because people can see what is behind that, right? This is why we have so many, and I'm guilty myself of that, doing all these how you call them big environment shots where you have like huge landscape in the back and everything is like just overly scoped and it's flashy and you have contrast and whatnot and it kind of like looks good to an untrained eye, but if you look from it from a product standpoint, it's like what's the context? You know, missing context. I find digital a very unpleasant, slippery experience. Yeah, I mean, I think digital has its goods the same as traditional. I mean, of course, I wish I could do here undo, but on the other side, I don't, because it kind of like it has its like it makes it final looking, you know. So, and it's a decision I learn from. So, also the far like you can push digital things is also amazing. I like painting really. I love painting digital because of the freedom you have while doing it. So Liquify saves my life. Yes, Liquify is a great tool. I agree. The reason why I'm asking personally, like idea of focusing 100% imagining things at a picture that I drew, just side effect of process. So my goal to get easier in a state of mind, to able to stay longer in it and kind of live in your imagination. Yeah, that's a good goal. It's also dangerous, but it's good because if you, it sounds like you at this time at the moment where you try to find your inner child, you know, what kind of like is inside of you and what is it that it really interests you, which is good. You should not stop seeking this, but at some point you, when you reach that state where you can like lose yourself into the inner child in your imagination, you can see that you kind of like lose yourself completely, and then to get out of it, and it's first of all super tough, and also maybe things that you do are not very, yeah, not really the way you want them to be. That something that requires a bit more thinking or planning, a bit more of a, I don't know, tactile approach, whatever it is you want to do, you you can realize, okay, I can draw just for myself, like a diary entry, just for my mental state. And I think this also, people underestimate this. We draw for ourselves to be happy because of the act of drawing, because it relaxes us. And it's really important. And when we do a product, when we do a portfolio, when we do something for somebody who pay us money for it, we do a product. It is nothing where we should attach ourselves too personal, because you can also fall flat down on your face with this. I mean, the great example are layoffs, right? You can put your heart into a company, but then you can get laid off if investors cut funding the next day. And you're just a little cog in the machine. So, c'est la vie then. That's just happening. But I can see here that my control with the brush pen is not where I want it to be. I have too much inconsistency in the thickness of my lines. But it's good because it's still it tells me that there's a big way, a lot more to learn with this. I think I'm going to quickly hit the toilet because I really need to pee. So be right back. 2 minutes. Be right back, folks. Sorry if I'm too quiet, or if the stream is too quiet. It's just I didn't turn any music on because I always have the licensing issue. So I hope that's okay. I hope that everyone can turn on their own music. Have you tried sculpting? Yes, I tried digital sculpting, and I think I tried also sculpting in college. I really like sculpting. I find it. I actually always was so fascinated about it that I wanted to draw like a sculptor, and I still kind of like do sometimes, because I think it enables you yeah, to be more present about three-dimensionality and space and stuff and form. But yeah, I think it's in general like it couldn't keep me entertaining too long, you know. But yeah, I think sculpting is great in general. I also have a lot of friends who are really good in sculpting, so they do cool stuff. Also, my colleagues back then, they also did really cool stuff. Dun, 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 dun. I did not expect this taking so long, but I guess it's if you have drawn a big format, like, I mean, this is like kind of like, that would be like A4 size now, right? Like the image would be filled. But I feel like this is the right size for me to draw. Every time I draw on A4 size, I kind of like feel so constrained because I always want to draw bigger. Yeah, and also because of the paper here, I'm just doing that because I always have sweaty hands, so it's a bit problematic if you do ink and you have sweaty hands. Have you tried sculpting, Visha? Boris, your comments, man. So you can't be that sick though. No, I'm just. I hope you're doing well and getting well soon. Borishnov. My first time seeing you live. Really enjoying seeing your content. It's inspiring. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time for writing this and sharing these kind words. Also, I haven't been live for a while, I need to say. Back in the days, in the in-house days when I was still working in the game studio, every Wednesday we had the live stream because I was so used to work a lot, and I felt like so obligated to the community to do the streams. But I also was super dead. Every Wednesday I was really dead. And I can't, like, if I think about it back, I can't really remember what we actually did on stream. I think we did a lot of Photoshop stuff and concept art stuff because it was also easier to produce. And I was working in-house anyways all day, so it was easier to spread the knowledge. Oh, I have to be careful here. kind of like have to think ahead. You almost recovered. That's nice. Do you watch football? You mean European football? Like I don't watch any football. No European football and also no American football. Kucha. Stop. But that was a good one, Kuja. How's it going? How are you doing? How's it going? Um, Great that you almost recovered, Boris. In ZBrush, nice. Yeah, Mr. Peach is here. I saw Mr. Peach was very active on streaming and socials and whatever. That's awesome. You're doing fantastic. Wow, great statement. That's the energy I need. Awesome. I'm doing pretty well, pretty good. Found some time to draw. Can't be happier. How is life going? Are you still in California, Mr. Peach? I think I saw a story where you were. Wasn't it an expo or something? Or was it at Riot? I don't know. I don't remember properly. I think it was the story where you showed the mural you were painting or something. I think that's why my assumption was that you were in California. California? You're not in California. You've never been there. Huh? Didn't you share something with the mural you painted for the headquarters or something? Riot Games recorded that for me. Sorry, what did they record it? Ah, okay. Gotcha. Hello, no pencil under drawing. No, Omar, no pencil under drawing. Who needs that? What a boring life. What a boring life. I need the excitement of fucking my drawing up. How are you doing, Omar? It's in the Riot Games Arena in Los Angeles. Ah, okay. Oh, you've been working every single day? I mean, good. Good for you. Good for you. Good for having busy project works and getting money in for days where you can relax. That's really good. Hey, Avingeni, welcome to YouTube. Thanks for the sub. I've worked on official Street Fighter art over the weekends. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. I always worry that my head is in front of the camera, but it seems not the way. Dun, 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 dun. I think I want someone on the lower part here. Do you like line drawing with liner? Yes, I do. I really like doing drawings with slim lines. It's very relaxing. Hello. Yeah, you don't miss much. Just an hour and 40 minutes. But I don't know if I leave this recording on YouTube. I hope you're doing well. Where's this stuff here? Maybe let's add a samurai without armor. Or maybe one without helmet could be cool. But then it kind of like takes the focus away from him. If I give someone else no helmet, I think I have to stay with the helmet. To break it up a bit more. This becomes more like a extended samurai's armor study session on a huge format. Funny you're using the very same brush to do the opposite. What is the opposite? Cute smooth stuff. Okay. Are samurais not cute? You wanna tell me? Let let that not hear any samurai. They could maybe be offended. Now let me see. Where do I put him? Maybe I put him here. Lol. No comment. But I let you have them. nice summer. Hey, Dark Chan, welcome to stream. Thank you. I lost 50 IQ points when I saw you put the paper to avoid staining your hand. I have 3 black fingers. Oh man, I didn't miss those jokes. You're distracting me from properly drawing. Please stop it. If I laugh too much, I can't control the brush pen. She's funny though. She's funny. Yeah. Maybe a career as comedian is also a possibility. But your friends probably told you that already. It's important really to master the brush pen, yeah. You know, like these Jackie Chan movies where he can like get slapped while he do push-ups and can dip down into the water. Same thing. It's like drawing with a brush pen and someone cracking jokes on you. I really recommend Alfonso Dano's workbook to manage Parkinson's when you ink. What? Um, oh wow, I'm very sorry to hear that, first of all. So I hope you can recover from that. And yeah, well then maybe ink is a good thing to try, because you have to draw directly, right? But you also have to focus directly. So you have to kind of like pre-visualize what you want to draw and how you want to draw it. And it's very hard in the beginning. But when you got it, then it you realize how fast this actually is. So I think I just spoke about it today also, but it is definitely rewarding if you spend the time on suffering until you got to the point of making it. But yeah, I hope you can recover well from it at some point, somehow. Because stuff like this is very severe. Sorry if I quiet down. Just want to get this guy done before I have to leave because I have, I think, a Menti call in an hour. Oh yeah, I have Chris in an hour. I need to eat before. Du, 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 du. But this here is definitely more of my format. So paper format, I really like the size of this paper. This is much more my thing. What size is it? This is A0. So this is A4 here, the sheet on the right, and this is A0. So 1, 2, no, how do you say? 4 of this, so to speak. 4 times A4. But yeah, I just spoke about it that I feel always very limited on A4. I always kind of like go very close to the border and whatnot. And I think that is kind of like, I think like the hand, I think it also depends a bit on hand size actually. Like the way you like to draw. I mean, it's just a theory that maybe the bigger your hand is, the bigger you want to draw. But it's just a theory. Maybe it's just a weird observation, which isn't really true. But I can say I have really trouble to draw small, and I was always drawing small, which didn't make any sense. And when I understood, well, I just need to draw bigger, then yeah, it definitely changed a lot in terms of output. So maybe from time to time, check your hand size. Check how big you draw. Again, just a theory. Your desk is not big enough. Well, then get a bigger desk. What an excuse is this? I don't want to hear this. Just get your husband and say, husband, I need a bigger desk. Give me a bigger desk. I need it in order to perform well in doing art. Did you finish your portfolio, by the way? I have an ask. I'm sorry. I was just so caught up in things these days. I think I can darken this a bit here. And your theory is false. I have small, uneven hands, and I like to draw big. Yeah, see, it was just a theory. um, okay. These funny when you friend try to draw the face that eyes following direction left, so hard besides long. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I agree. True. Okay, how much time do I have? Okay. Sorry, just have to watch the clock here. Because I haven't had lunch yet and it's almost 5 p.m. here. You can see like schedule is going. So I need to eat lunch at least before my menti calls. Otherwise, I can't give good feedback. You're practically a hobbit. You know what? That's funny. I thought about that. If I would be shorter, let's say 30 centimeters shorter, I would definitely be a hobbit with my foot size. But hobbits are cool. They know how to have a good party, smoke their weed. They're doing good stuff to live life good. They know how to enjoy life. So nothing against hobbits. They stay in the Shire all the time. They don't bother anyone. They just want to be under them. So they're maybe a bit naive, but not all of them. You have a 40. That's cute. I have a 48. I could basically hide a cat in my shoes. I mean, it's maybe technically not so hard. Depends on the size of the cat, I guess. Jesus, this detail. My eyes are getting blurry. Yeah, I don't drink and I don't smoke, I know. But I enjoy living life, whatever that means. Relaxing. I like the forest. I like being alone, being on myself. Sometimes I'm a weirdo. So technically I'm just a very tall hobbit. I'm 1 meter 90, 92 or something, 91, I think. So 6'3" in American size. I don't know where you sit at, Keanu, but yeah. Cats make me happy. Yes, I like cats as well. Have you tried charcoal pencil? Yeah, in when I was studying, I did a lot of charcoal figure drawings. But I actually don't like charcoal so much because I just spoke with a mentee about it yesterday. That I don't like charcoal so much because you go very fast value wise into blacks, into darks. So the image becomes very dark very fast, which is kind of like funny that I use ink now because it's actually a little bit the same. But back then, I like to use wax on pencils. So it's basically like you have like a wax tip and you have like it's kind of like what's it called? Wax material which is wrapped around that. So it's kind of like a paper, and then you pull it outwards, and it's very soft, and you can kind of like add kind of like values very slow to it, so you don't go too dark. You're a true hobbit there. Nice. Hey, power to the hobbits, man. Power to the hobbits. Again, I love hobbits. Nothing bad against hobbits. Okay, peeps. I need to eat, and I have a few mentee calls tonight, and unfortunately, I have to stop the stream here. But if you want more streams in the future like this, just chat in. Just make sure to check out notification on Instagram or on the YouTube channel. And yeah, besides that, I hope you could draw a bit along, or could draw a bit for yourself, or do something for yourself, be creative. And I wish you all a wonderful rest day, rest week. Not sure when next YouTube video is coming. Next sure when the stream is coming. Kind of like doing things spontaneously at the moment. But yeah, besides that, mentorship slots are open. Check out the website. Everything is there. Career talks are open. Portfolio reviews are open. Everything is open. So if you need anything, or if you're interested in that, it's there. And yeah, besides that, I hope you like the stream. I appreciate you all. Appreciate your support in any ways. And yeah, much love goes out, and talk to you soon. Okay. Have a good day, everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye. And join the Discord if you want. If you're not part of community. Thanks for the sub, Drake. Okay.